My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
As a player of AAA video games, I am totally alright with a little bit of disappointment here and there. Developers aren't perfect, publishers aren't forgiving, and, well, it just gets to a point where if you expect too much, you're only going to be disappointed. Now, my rants and things are entertaining to some of you, and it's a big part of my channel. But occasionally something comes up and it blows me out of the water with how disappointed it makes me. It's like, wow, it's almost impressive how disappointed I am. I didn't think I could get this bummed out. You guys will probably recall my first video after Far Cry 5 launched was a pretty negative one. I mean, I said I liked the game, and that's still the case, but I pointed out that the arcade mode needed 6 players to start a match. 6 players! That is no longer a private match. That means I have to go recruit people from my social media to join my game. So I was pretty bummed out, and I made the point that if there was 3 people that wanted to play games together, and they bought Far Cry 5, they'd be in for a really sour surprise. Well, luckily, they fixed that, and now you only need 1 other person to start a game with. Well, I'd prefer to be able to start a match by myself, but this is fine. I don't mind this at all. But then the problems started setting in. You see, when I noticed that I couldn't just play with just my friend, or just my girlfriend, or just one other person, my mind just went crazy with expectations, or not really expectations, just excitement in general. I was excited because I could go in and make maps, whether it's from Call of Duty games or Battlefield games or from other open world adventure games, make things that resemble them, and then duel my friends on them with our own custom rule sets and loadouts. And then came the massive bummer. You have 2 health options in the Far Cry 5 arcade. You have this one, which is either 9 to 10 shots to kill or a single headshot. Kind of an interesting mix there, Ubisoft. Kind of got a Halo thing going on there with the 10-shot kill. Kind of a Rainbow Six Siege thing going on there with the 1-shot headshot. Very, very interesting. And in a game with very heavy aim assist that is either going to give you basically auto aim or you have to fight it in order to hit your target. Not to mention it's also 30 FPS, which just spells out great PvP. But either way, if you don't like that damage model, you could have 1-shot kills player, which I think is at least better because the game has real weapon physics, recoil, spread, and bullet travel time, and drop. But the settings to change that are specific to the maps you change them on. Oh, isn't that fun? Meaning you can't pick a map that's already been made and then change gameplay settings. The gameplay settings are tied to each map, so you have to grab that map, save it, and then edit it, and then publish it, as long as the game doesn't tell you that Far Cry 5 isn't available and you can't publish it. Once you publish it and you load into a lobby with your friend, you get a solid 20 seconds to put in the filter that you want to look at your published maps. That's right, you can't turn off this countdown timer once you get into a game, and so then you pick your map that you created if you can. I wasn't able to because I couldn't publish my edits to a map. Then you have the settings you want. There also are some good ones with no fall damage, unlimited underwater breathing, stuff like that. I thought that was cool. But it doesn't take away from how absolutely awful this system is. For your friend to join, you have to create a lobby, and then you have to give it a password, and then for them to be able to play with you without it telling you that it needs 2 more players, they have to select private match and then put in the password you put in, and then it'll put them in your game. So that's an incredibly unnecessary step, especially since there's an in-game lobby system that I can invite my friends to. And then once you get in, you have something that I really like. You have 2 things that I really like, actually. You have really creative, interesting maps. You have the ability to create your own map, so map-wise, it's down to a fucking nail. It's perfect. But then you get into the mechanics, and it's Far Cry 5's mechanics. Sliding, blind firing, cool cover system. Other than a lack of proning, the gun mechanics and everything are pretty solid. But then you get into terrible base damage, terrible base weapon time to kill nonsense. Your matches can also only be 10 minutes long. By the way, that's the max amount of time. So you could spend hours or days working on a map to make it detailed and interesting for your friends to play on, but only for 10 minutes, kids, then it's time for bed. No long methodical sniper matches on maybe a trench map you've made or something. Nope, not gonna happen. And then the whole map selection system, like I said, is just on top of that completely broken. It's just broken. You have to do everything in a certain time limit. You have to, oh god, I expect you to put in the name of map creators and editors when there's a fucking countdown over your head all the time. A very short one. And my god, it just makes me wonder, right? You know, it just really makes me wonder what the hell they were thinking. This kill time is terrible. My girlfriend kept killing me, she didn't know how, and then we figured out that, like with an AK-47, it's 10 shots to kill, or a single headshot. It's 30 FPS on top of all of that. It's just not a good experience. So yes, I'm so glad I can private match my friends now, but unfortunately, it's still broken, and I'm still unhappy. And this isn't one of those situations where I can go, well, at least I have this. No, not at least I have this. I have this amazing arcade where I can create my own levels, but only play for 10 minutes? This is so unnecessarily complicated, limiting, and balance-wise broken. So Ubisoft, let me help you out. Go ahead and find yourself a copy of Call of Duty 4. The original one from 2007 will work fine. You're going to want to go to where it says private match, or maybe it says custom game. I hope you guys can navigate that. And once you select it, you'll see that players can change the settings, the map type, the game mode, and their classes. And then they can hop into a game. It is a very groundbreaking system. I'd be a little surprised if you guys could replicate it, you know, over 10 years later, right? So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna make a system where I hit private match. Then you're going to give me 3 little things. Game settings or gameplay modifiers, map selection where I can pick from Ubisoft's maps, maps that other people have made, or my own maps, loadout customization, and I guess there is a 4th one, start game. That's right, don't start the game for me. Allow me to hit start game.
Your face. Let me tell you, I'm like missing no health.
What?
I still am in the green.
I'm playing the worst game ever.
Yeah.
Shotgun. Shotgun.
Ooh, nothing.
Shotgun.
A little. A little.
Has to be a headshot. What the fuck?
Yep.
This is busted.
The first shot did like no damage.